So, when I thought we would be getting a WandaVision trailer, nowhere in my wildest imagination did I expect 4 trailers from Disney and Marvel. But that's exactly what we got, and so we're going to be breaking down and reviewing, reacting to all 4 trailers that came from Marvel Disney, as well as the Star Wars sizzle reels as well. And of course, there were a couple other things like a Miss Marvel sizzle, which we'll be doing videos on as well, so stay tuned to the channel for all of that content. And on top of that, before we get into this trailer, I will be doing recap videos on Star Wars and Disney Pixar and what they revealed at the Disney Investors meeting. But I think it was pretty clear that Marvel had the most to say. They dropped a ton of new information, like I said, 4 trailers and a sizzle reel. And so I'm going to talk about all of that on this week's episode of Marvel Mania, my podcast. So I'll be doing individual trailer breakdowns, but if you guys want to see my in-depth thoughts as we talk about every single upcoming Phase 4 and Phase 5 project that Marvel talked about at their investors meeting, then tune in to the second episode of Marvel Mania dropping in just a couple days. The amount of support that you guys have been giving this channel has been insane. Thank you guys so much. If you haven't subscribed already, then please make sure to do so, and let's get into this new WandaVision trailer. So WandaVision, it is no secret for those of you who have been watching my videos that this is one of my most anticipated projects of the MCU Phase 4. I legitimately believe that this has the potential to be as surprisingly good as a Phase 3 project such as Thor Ragnarok. Back when they announced Thor Ragnarok, nobody had any idea of how good it would be. Lo and behold, Thor Ragnarok turned out to be a smash hit. I think WandaVision is just the same. It looked kind of zany and weird. Kat Dennings, Randall Park, Monica Rambeau, but they're all meshing together into this one beautiful show, and I think this trailer encapsulates that beautifully. So the trailer opens with the usual footage, the same sort of footage and opening that the last trailer had, with Wanda in this very 50s, 60s-esque sitcom setting. But right away, you can tell something is wrong, because she's been using her magic, and you can see hints of the magic throughout the entire trailer, and I think that's one of the best aspects of the trailer. We're going to talk about tone in just a little bit, but I think that the tone of this trailer encapsulates perfectly what we're going to see in WandaVision in January. There are 2 specific lines that stand out every time I see this trailer, and we're going to talk about them as we go along this video. But for now, the opening is cute, and it shows that this WandaVision show is not afraid to embrace the zany, weird aspect and concept that it had going for it. And I think that's the best part of this trailer. Again, the MCU showed at the Disney Investors meeting that they are going all out on creativity. They are not holding back, and this WandaVision trailer and show looks to be one of the most insane projects that the MCU has ever delivered on. And that's exciting. Now you can see the evolution of the trailer as we go along. You can see that they're going through the sitcoms, and you can see that Wanda is going through various stages. For example, you can see her manifest the ring, and you can see that her relationship with Vision is becoming to stabilize, and she is beginning to love the world that she lives in. And I love how the trailer manifests that very perfectly and precisely. You can see that from the beginning, Wanda is beginning to make this world her own. She is melding the beds together, she is transforming the setting into what she wants it to be, she is using her magic, she doesn't care anymore, and Vision is back. But this helps to create a tone of false security, because we all know that not everything is as it seems, and that's very clear throughout the trailer. And so that's why I want to talk about tone, because the tone of this trailer, while very cute and fun and action-driven, is actually more akin to a horror show. In a very subtle way, actually, because horror films and shows, they want to depict that something that looks like it's right is actually very wrong. That's the subversion, right? That's what makes you feel unsettled in a horror film, that what you think is okay and what you think is normal is actually very, very, very twisted and wrong. And I think that's very much the vibe that we're going for here, is that Wanda lives in this reality that she thinks is normal, that she thinks is idyllic and perfect, and yet underneath the surface you can see hints and layers of something that is going terribly wrong. The first big moment of this trailer to me is when Monica Rambeau shows up. Now, there was speculation that Monica Rambeau was sent in there by S.W.O.R.D. to go and spy on her, I guess, but it looks like Monica Rambeau somehow got stuck in this reality. Maybe she did get sent in there by S.W.O.R.D. and she just got stuck and forgot who she was, because the lines are really, really interesting when Monica Rambeau says, "I don't know who I am." Wanda goes, "Who are you?" And she goes, "I don't know." And then it sort of flashes between normal and confused. Again, to me, that's the first indication that something is very, very wrong in this reality. And we're going to see that play out through Monica Rambeau, probably. She's going to be probably the normal character who's trying to go through all of this and sitting in the pocket reality, while Wanda is trying to shut out the rest of the world. I think that's part of the show. And then you can really see the show start to devolve. You can see that the walls are flickering like a TV screen, and you can see what looks like maybe a little phone screen. And this is the first line that really caught my attention. It's the voice that's coming through the screen that says, "Wanda, who's doing this to you? Who's doing this to you?" So to me, this really does seem like either A, Wanda has shut herself in and S.W.O.R.D. maybe thinks that somebody is doing this to her, or maybe B, somebody has trapped her in this dimension to begin with. We've all sort of assumed that Wanda is having a mental breakdown, and that's probably the case. That this is a sort of prison of her own making, but what if somebody else, whether it's Mephisto, Agatha Harkness, whoever it may be, what if they are using her and just trapping her in her own reality? I think that line is fascinating. Who is doing this to you? Rather than why are you doing this? I think those two lines have very different connotations. Now again, I understand trailers can edit out lines and bring in CGI characters. I mean, Avengers Infinity War, anybody? But if we are to take any of this at face value, then I think that it's really interesting that somebody seems to think, whether it's Sword, Jimmy Woo, whoever it is, that somebody is doing something to Wanda. So we'll have to see about that as we get closer to the show. And then we get more shots of the quote-unquote real world, where I think Sword is obviously stationed outside of wherever Wanda in the real world is hiding. And we get to see some shots of Jimmy Woo. We see Monica Rambeau, of course, and we saw Kat Dennings as well for a quick shot. And again, just the shifting back between normal, confused, scared, frightened, especially that shot where Agatha Harkness is switching back between seemingly normal or confused to evil laughter. That's unsettling, because that shows that while on the surface everything seems to be okay, underneath everything is very wrong. We get some more shots of just normal, action-y sort of things, Wanda and Vision being cute, but then it leads to the second big dialogue exchange that I wanted to talk about. Wanda says, "This is our home," and Vision responds, "Then let's fight for it." Now that is fascinating because it lends to the theory that I've been thinking about after seeing the first two trailers of WandaVision, that Vision might be a sort of villain figure in this show. I mean, Vision is dead. We all know this. But I think this trailer makes it abundantly clear that Vision is not a positive force for Wanda. He is not a positive influence on her, even though she thinks that he is the best thing that could happen to her. I have a feeling that this version of Vision had been manifested by Agatha Harkness or Mephisto or Doctor Strange, whoever is in control of this pocket reality. And that's why he is so insistent on fighting for this home. Because obviously whoever's controlling Wanda doesn't want her to escape. They don't want her to get back into the real world. And so by having Vision there, encouraging her to stay in this idyllic, utopian society that they're living in. And Wanda acknowledging, this is our home. She doesn't want to leave. And Vision is saying that we're going to fight together. What if the ending fight sees Wanda and Vision trying to protect the reality that is really destroying them from the inside? Maybe that's sort of the climactic battle that everyone's been talking about for this show. The final thing that I want to mention from this trailer is the imagery of the Mind Stone. I think that's really interesting. Now, after the Infinity Saga, we seem to have moved on from the Infinity Stones, at least in Spider-Man Far From Home, but one of them is back in a prominent way, being the Mind Stone in Vision's forehead. And I think it's really interesting how it's the final shot of the main trailer, or at least included in the final montage of the trailer, because as we know, trailers, when they're ending and they're going to the title card, are trying to build up the excitement and suspense and trying to get the audience excited, and they usually show scenes from the climactic part of the movie, or at least the most important part of the movie. So to me, it's really interesting that the Mind Stone is still involved. If Vision is just a manifestation of Agatha Harkness or Scarlet Witch, then the Mind Stone isn't real. But maybe this Mind Stone is real? It seems like it's a very important part of the show after seeing this trailer. So are we going to be seeing another scenario in which Scarlet Witch has to destroy the Mind Stone again like Infinity War? I sort of hope not. Then again, this show does seem to be subverting all of my expectations, so I have no doubt that this show will do something really interesting and unique with the Mind Stone. I just think it's really interesting to point out that it's such a big emphasis after we have seen 22 movies talking about Infinity Stones nonstop, and it's really interesting to me again that the Mind Stone is a big part of this as well. But overall, I am so beyond excited for WandaVision. This trailer, when it was screening at the Disney Investors live stream, my jaw dropped to the floor. I was beyond breathless. Again, to me, this has the potential to be one of the most special, unique, creative projects that the MCU has ever delivered on, and that's so exciting for me. The MCU is going in crazy directions, and I cannot wait. For breakdowns of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Loki, What If, Miss Marvel, The Bad Batch, and so many more trailers that came out of the Disney Investors meeting, stay tuned to the channel, subscribe, so that you don't miss out on any of this content. And again, please make sure to tune in to Marvel Mania Episode 2, where we're going to be talking about, again, every single announcement, Armor Wars, Secret Invasion, Ironheart, The Abomination, all that stuff in detail on a full-length podcast. Stay tuned. In the meantime, what do you guys think of the new WandaVision trailer? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Are you excited? Let me know in the comments down below. If you haven't subscribed, then please make sure to do so and give this video a like. And if you want to check out some more videos, check out the videos on the screen right now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.